Okay, 6th of July 2026. Sounds like the song's Evanescence to me, but I could be wrong. It's all I can get is call me when you're sober. So it sounds like somebody's putting boundaries in, or somebody's getting drunk texting, drunk calling, whatever that is. So let's have a look, see what it really means. Jupiter, 8th house, which is usually Scorpio, so that's death and rebirth, and Gemini, communications. And today's card is Gemini, so well done, Spirit, already. But it is neutral, so it's 6 and 24. It's the choice, also known as the lovers by those who like to make every read about love. So yeah, it's twins, but unless it comes out separately from the first pile, it's neutral. So let's see then. I think we still are in Mercury retrograde, so Gemini. There it is. So we don't want to make a choice, or we've made a bad choice. Oh dear, out of fear. That's sad. So putting things off until tomorrow, probably a decision that needs to be done today. Dick Whittington, Richard, Lord Mayor of London, any or all of those, 22, negative energy, putting things off until tomorrow, not wanting to take a risk. Like I said, bad choices, it's neutral there, so the number 10 is negative, blimey, so both major arcana is now negative, and no star signs as yet. Watch for the shooting star, those born in the year of the dog are negative. A run of bad luck, bad choices. Jacqueline, Richard and Oscar. So Richard keeps coming out. There's the Scorpio energy that's in the dice. Reproductive organs, shared resources. Your cup is full. So Jupiter, abundance maybe. But health may not be. You're not on your spiritual path, and we've got 2 dogs there again, and we've got 2 snakes again, so it could be twins. 9 and 27, negative energy. Not following your gut instinct, where your gut tells you should be. Doing extra hours at work because of the materialism. There's no spirituality here. 9 or 27. So Millie, Walter, Mike, Darren, Julie, Susan, Reese, Chantel. A house move for some. A happy home. Home is not a home without fire in the hearth, food on the table, and welcome at the door. A firm foundation being built. So it's the first positive besides the reproductive organ shared resources that we've got. So there is a full cup somewhere. And it could be a celebration. We've got the ram's head there, so it could be Aries. We've got the dove of peace, and we've got Pan, playfulness. And yet we have another major arcana in the negative. It's more major arcanas than anything else. This is unreal. So an end to a marriage, a friendship, an end to study, an end to beliefs, an end to your value in yourself, self-worth. Not speaking your truth, so this could be kidding yourself. Lost keys. Simon, Peter, Diane, Mark. The children hold the key. Throat, neck and throat issues. 3 problems. You need a new team. So it looks like a house move is needed, and a new beginning. A foundation stone, which has got there, look, and you only get that when you graduate from something. You grow as a person. So graduation from university, whatever, you may have lost faith in your studies, but you can't make this new beginning until you decide a new team is needed. You might be starting a new business, which is even better because it will profit within 3 years. But this is after a run of bad luck, after maybe a marriage breakdown, after maybe losing a friendship or losing your faith. There's something here what needs to be lost to gain, which is harsh, at the very least. So, like I said, she's saying in this song, come on, you sober. So when you've sorted your life out, then give me a ring. Forget it until then. So you've got to make those foundations. You've got to make yourself happy and expect others to complete you. Let's see. Oh, blimey, that came up. I had to circle yesterday and this kept coming up. So there is more violent attacks, whether that be terrorist activity or something to do with the children. That child is covered in blood. There is violence and somebody wants to win at all costs. They do not care how they do it. They are quite prepared to cut their own nose off to spite the face. Do you want to win or do you want to be happy? That is what they're asking you. Because no one wins this and everyone will regret it if it carries on. Somebody, Mercury retrograde, we're revisiting something from the past. It's good to do that if you're correcting something. If you are just going to go back on something because it's more comfortable, that is not what Mercury retrograde is for, and it won't work. Somebody thinks they can emotionally, financially, spiritually, mentally or physically blackmail you, and you have a decision to make because you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Again, Spirit's giving you a gift of a foundation stone. This is an opportunity not to be missed. It could be a proposal, it could be a new home, we've got there, a new business. Whatever it is will pay off within a year. So you have a choice to make. Again, we've got 2 women. We've got a water sign and an air sign. Or she could be a doctor, priest or lawyer. She's usually dark haired, but in this she's blonde, so maybe she colours her hair. She's a blonde. So Scorpio and Aquarius. Aquarius is usually representing the divorced or widowed woman, the single mother, somebody who's guarding her heart. It's also somebody who's clear of mind. It could be a professional woman, as in doctor, priest or lawyer. Or I would even say teacher. So, but she is detached. She is no longer going to let anybody into her life that can hurt her. Simple as that. So any or all of those, what I've mentioned, 2 women is always a problem. It may be that a friendship ends because somebody cuts somebody out of life because they drink too much. So Virgo, living in the past, that's what it's talking about. Mercury retrograde, it's okay to revisit the past to correct something, but it's not all right to stay there. The past is over, the future is not promised. You must live in the now and declare it. So stop wasting your time, energy, breath on people that are never going to listen. You're banging your head against a brick wall. There's a homecoming here, and it'll be a happy one. Home is where your heart is. Independence, stand on your own 2 feet, so you're no longer in a union. You can make it by yourself. You will have everything you need. There may still be one thing missing, but Spirit have given you the opportunity to take that if you get to this stage. So, do not act in haste, because you'll repent at leisure. This is unfinished business from the past. There is no doubt about that in my mind. So we've got Virgo, we've got Scorpio, we've got Aquarius. But Virgo is the biggest one. And Taurus. So let's have a look. So Chiron is in Taurus, so there's some healing that needs to take place. And Virgo is the South Node, so the past, revisiting the past. Taurus is in the 7th house of partnerships. Yes, makes sense. And Virgo is in the 11th house of wishes and dreams. So this is a dream partnership that could happen. But first of all, you have to finish your business elsewhere. Then we have the small amounts of Scorpio and Aquarius and Sagittarius. So where are they? Scorpio's ascending. Sagittarius is Lilith. Aquarius, Juno, and the IC. Taurus, also the DC, and Virgo, the South Node. So like I said, it's going back to the past. Aquarius is in the 4th house of home and family life. And Sagittarius is in the 2nd house of your values, your worth. And that is taking a pilgrimage. So we have something or someone coming back from the past. And it's got to be settled. Don't fear it. Somebody here doesn't like losing. And they will do anything to destroy others to get what they want. You have to come home to who you truly are. Oh, there it is. Then we turn our look around so that number 10 changes completely. Once we get this settled, then everything falls into place. A run of good luck. The wheel turns in our favour. But something here is ending. An emotional situation that's been going on too long is no longer feeding you, it's draining you, is over. And it could be a marriage, because on this card it's a marriage. Spirit are giving you again another gift of the Ace. So the Ace of Pentacles, which is your grounding, your foundations. The Ace of Cups is your full cup, your happiness. 1 year, 1 month. But for that to happen, somebody has to separate. So it may be a separation of a family member, a friend. It's a nightmare situation. So somebody really has had a hard time, sleepless nights with this, feeling like it's too much trouble to end this, but it's got to end. You could have left at any time. That cage door has always been open. 9 weeks. Oh yeah. Breaking that toxic shackle. Selling your soul to the devil, no longer happening. Capricorn, positive energy, 15. Lee and Ashley. It is no longer being controlled. Do not sign anything. Don't agree to anything under duress. This is not for you. You stay away from the toxic energy of the past. And there we have it, because there's no passion there. No passion at all. Impotence. Somebody has returned to something or someone they shouldn't have. And there it is again. So now the mask can only last for so long. When you return to something, they will return to their natural selves. And then it causes this, which is what we started with, the bloodbath. Massive, violent arguments where you will feel erased, no longer relevant, because they want to win. They want to be in charge. So, that was very clear, wasn't it? 8th house then, death and rebirth, funerals and labour wards, the snake, that was last year, wasn't it? Shedding a skin, transmutation, there she is, Scorpio. Funeral parlours, cemeteries, labour wards, ancestral property, interaction, shared resources, birth, death, rebirth, so joint bank accounts, stuff like that, regeneration, sexual unions, integration, self-sacrifice, expanded awareness, inheritances and other people's money, plus metaphysics, which is the ethereal. This is about secrets from the past that are revealed. It's how greedy you are with your love, with your money, with everything. We've got Gemini. Capricorn, suffering losses, a substantial legacy or a fair flair for business. Right. It's people using sex as a weapon, which will diminish your passion, make you impotent. So Gemini and Jupiter and Gemini, sorry. There it is. Expansion through new concepts. The new there, not the old. Don't go back to the past. This is something new. Exceedingly talkative, Jupiter Gemini tells tall tales, so they're lying, exaggerating their abilities, and distributes fresh beliefs. So somebody's lying to you to try and keep you in this situation. They may even believe their own lies, which is a sad state of affairs, I'm afraid. Yamea, the goddess of the ocean. So, here she is, the water queen. Oh, it's the date. Yamea. There she is. The ocean mother. So your mum, especially if she was a water sign. Nourishment, transformation, going with the flow of the divine, not yours, of theirs. Surrender to a higher power than yourself. A connection with your mother, especially if she's in spirit. Finding your Maya in your card spread means that the issue at hand may be transformed by connecting with the divine. Situations will resolve themselves not by direct action or conflict, but by keeping in touch with your positivity. Yemaya is one of the most powerful natural forces because she is the ocean mother. The ocean can nourish and feed us, or she can poison and pollute us. Hold earnestly in your good intentions and your compassionate heart, and be prepared to surrender to the will of the divine. If it's what they want, you can't argue with it. It will happen, I'm afraid. So change is coming, and for some it'll be good, and for some it won't be, because if you're the one that's been trying to control, manipulate, and use sex as a weapon, you're the one that's going to be in trouble. Simple as. Lady of the Lake, yeah. Somebody didn't keep their promises. Promises, vows, contracts, but they were made under duress. So Arthur could be important. Vivian. So Viv and Arthur. The Lady of the Lake is the keeper of Excalibur, so that sword that you sever ties with, and the voice of the goddess during the times of Avalon, existing on this earthly plane. She is the mother, again, the mother energy, of Sir Lancelot, and a great friend of Merlin. Now, Sir Lancelot was in love with Guinevere, though. There were 9 ladies of the lake, of which the final lady, Vivian, is best known. She ruled during the times of Christianity. So this is a Christian faith, which is being lost, which is the loss of faith there. When it was introduced into Britain, so when Christianity first came to Britain, and when the Christian priests announced beliefs in any other than their one Christian God. Now, you can have faith without being Christian. And the pagan faith is more grounded. It was our original faith in England. The Lady of the Lake made an agreement with Arthur when he was very young. So he agreed something, that if he would support the cause of Avalon, she would allow him to take Excalibur from the stone and rule the kingdom of Britain. So in his youth, he made a promise. However, as the years passed, and through the assistance of the Christian wife Guinevere, so his wife, he began to rule the kingdom as a Christian king, and forgetting all about poor Vivian and the promise. The practice of ceremonies and rituals relate to the old ways of doing things which worship the goddess, which was frowned upon. So people didn't like it, so they stopped it happening through pressure, and over time began to slowly fade away. Eventually, Avalon disappeared into the mists of Glastonbury, because if you're not going to be faithful to them, they're not going to be faithful to you, and they will leave. And with it went the practices of worshipping the goddess. It's important to value your beliefs, to believe in yourself and you're not. They are what guided you in your life's journey, and now you're off that path because you're not listening to your gut instinct. Often we are tempted by other ideas, materialism, and seem more glamorous or hold a promise of greater riches. However, before you make this choice, this life-changing decision, take a moment to check your real feelings. Are these feelings related to the hype and possibility of a new situation? And most importantly, is there any real substance to what you're being led to believe? Because it's lies. It is normal for you to rush into decisions, but this is a time for quiet reflection, so maybe you do have to sleep on it, and to notice the chatter in your head and feel what your body is telling you. This decision challenges your belief system. So when you've said, and Spirit always tests this, I'd never do that, They will make sure that you do, and brings with it responsibility for life-changing events. You must take your time, at least 2 to 3 days, then your decision will be the correct one. So 3 days. Make sure that you mean it, because there'll be no going back. There she is, the altar priestess. You have to put your money where your mouth is. Practice what you preach. Preparation, prayer, and sacred rituals. The number 39. The high priestess in the tarot deck, similarly. So 39. The stage is set, and the world is waiting for you to take your place in sacred meditation and prayer. As your ally, the altar priestess brings the ritual of reverent interaction with the mundane world. You are being required now to see everything as sacred, all life as a meditation, every action as a prayer of devotion. When you're able to perceive the world in this way, your question will lead you to the appropriate answer. Because if all is sacred, how can anything be wrong? The only wrong is how you go about it. If you do it with honour. Ask how you can shift your consciousness to see your circumstances through the eyes of the divine, because all they want is your happiness. And you will realise how perfect and sacred everything is right now. So, if it doesn't make you smile, Spirit don't want you to be there. Simple as. If you are not on this earth enjoying your life, there is something wrong. That doesn't mean that you're not in a crappy job. It means that you have people around you that make your life better. Because everybody has to work, everybody has to survive. But without people in your life that make it better, even though you've got to be independent, you haven't got, they are not there to save you. They are not there to make you whole. You make yourself whole. But you must not be so independent that you shut yourself off. There's the number 8. So we've got the rabbit. There's one in the year of the rabbit. The red eggs. Easter. A rebirth. Ostara. Ostara is the spring equinox, named for the goddess Esther, so a pagan goddess again, from whom Easter also gets its name. Day and night are equal length, and the ascent towards the light begins. A joyful young rabbit leaps through the green landscape. Jupiter. The trees are budding with tender growth, and everywhere there is signs of awakening. So you are waking up to the fact that something is not working. The red eggs are a symbol of rebirth and eternal life, and we are offered as a gift of love. And you've been given a gift of love from Spirit, unconditional love, a full cup that you don't have to worry about. So, creativity abounds. This is a time of rapid growth in every way. Projects undertaken now will blossom. 3 of Pentacles. So that foundation stone, if you start something new, will blossom. Not something old, something new. Give in to spring fever and approach life with more enthusiasm. You must take that leap of faith, and he's not willing to do it. So, enthusiasm, growth, vitality. I am filled with the life force of renewal. How do you express your inner child? So somebody's inner child has been tormented, traumatized, and they need to find some way of going back and telling that child that it's going to be okay, that you survived and you're happy. So, I pulled these out yesterday as well, so we'll have a go at these. Pull a couple of these flashcards. Cheap cardstock, but they're really good cards. I like them. Invest in your future, I think, because time is running out. There you go. Can't get plainer than that. Invest in your future because time is running out. You take care, and I'll speak soon. Bye.